Hmm. You know I was gonna get this. And I guess this year is full of remakes. But this remake doesn't have any changes to the storyline, and it's basically a shot by shot. Is it better than the original? Welcome, guys. Welcome to Buddies and Blockbusters. I'm your host, AJ, and we're here to review the live action How to Train Your Dragon. And as you can see, I have my boy Toothless with me. And good lord, just like I mentioned, looks like this year is full of remakes, right? I just watched Lilo and Stitch like a couple of weeks ago, and now we have this. And being honest, I think this is the first remake, at least in my mind, into live action that they haven't changed the storyline. They haven't done anything different compared to like Lilo and Stitch, where they had a lot of storyline changes. This one is shot by shot, basically the same. And I kind of think of this as the extended cut of the original. You know, there's probably like a couple of additional scenes here and there that's added. For the most part, everything stays the same, and I honestly had a good time because probably a bit biased that I just like the original so much, and I connected with Toothless and Hiccup a lot because that bond, that connection is again the soul of the movie, like how it needs to be. And the other standout, because this is a live action, is the way how this movie looks. It's breathtaking. I mean, as and when Hiccup and Toothless go for their ride and they're figuring out the whole training component, that whole kind of, I wouldn't call it montage, but that flow and sequencing, and when they show all these scenic views, that's just next level. I know it's a combination of CGI and stuff like that, but that was really good to see, at least from a live action standpoint. And the standout to me as how it needs to be is Toothless and Hiccup. That bond, that friendship the two of them have from the time that they sync up, the initial stranger vibes, and he's a freaking dragon, and the way how they connect, and that whole relationship as and when it evolves into true friendship is so pure. Even though I'm kind of rewatching the same thing, that feeling and that effect stays true to the original, and I really appreciated that. I had the same kind of vibe with the father and son relationship because Gerard Butler was the voice actor of Stoic in the original. So that father-son relationship was definitely there because he has his own expectation. He's a freaking hothead and stubborn about his own ways, and the fact that he wants his son kind of go in the same footsteps, but Hiccup is not that way. It's the complete opposite. That bond and that kind of back and forth was done in the best way possible. The only piece that I didn't connect with was the relationship between Astrid and Hiccup. Although there was, I believe, one or two additional scenes between the two, but truth be told, that it didn't work out for me. It was bland in my eyes. I didn't feel the connection compared to how, the father-son piece was going on, as well as the bond and the friendship between Hiccup and Toothless. And even when the whole kiss happened, it's like, okay, that just came out of nowhere because that whole buildup was just off. I would prefer Astrid and Hiccup's relationship was much more better in the original compared to this. And the overall CGI and the components of the world that they have was done in a decent way. I mean, you've seen the original, so you're basically going to get the same piece here. For the folks and kids who have not watched the original, I think this would be like good introductory piece for them, and they're going to have a blast because the theater I went in, it was packed, it was house full, a lot of kids, and they were having a blast. And that's exactly what this movie is intended for. And if you're a fan of this franchise, you would still prefer the original. I would still go back and watch that piece over this, but it is a good, decent attempt of a remake in live action. And this is one of those movies that they haven't changed anything on the storyline. They knew that they have gold or diamond with them, and they just stuck to it. And you have knuckleheads like me who would go in and buy their merch. At this point, Cinemark, you've got to sponsor your boy. You're probably one of those sponsors that makes sense for this channel. I mean, I spend a lot. Aside from that, for the folks who have watched How to Train Your Dragon, the live action, what did you guys think? Do you prefer this adaptation or the OG is always better? Let me know in the comments, and as always, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and share.